JFC 993 here, helping you with your extra deck choices. To start off, we have Magical Android, generic level 5, light monster, 2400 to 1700 stats, not terrible for level 5. If you don't have Catastor, this should definitely be in your extra deck, and even if you do have Catastor and just need second level 5, why not? Catastor should be run in all extra decks that can get a level 5 out. He is the best level 5 out right now because you can destroy an opponent's monster by battling with it if it's not a dark type. Stats of 2200, 1200 are pretty weak in general, but his effect supplements it. Then we have Hyunlei. If you run a non-tuner X-Saber in your deck, you should have this in your extra deck if you have room. You could even side this theoretically against Sabers and take their monster and sync with it. Her effect's pretty good because she destroys 3 back rows on her summon. And then you have Bryanak, the second best level 6 there is out right now. He's generic, 2300 stats aren't impressive, but his effect is just amazing. Provides OTKs, provides dumping to graveyard, that's about it. Yugioh should be run in every extra deck. I don't know how to emphasize this enough. It's a great level 6, probably the best there is. With stats of 2800, 2000, it's one of the highest attack synchros there is out right now, especially because it's level 6. Its effect is amazing because you can steal your opponent's monsters pretty easily by just killing them. Every extra deck should run this card. Then you have Blackwing Armwing. If you are running a deck that has a Blackwing tuner in it and you have room, there's no reason not to run this. It gets over the annoying defense position monsters with piercing effects. Drill Warrior, not a great synchro because it's only good in Dandelion decks or quick draw decks, either way. Once it's in that deck though, it's a pretty good card, just for generic purposes, not great. Tempest, any deck that runs a spellcaster with tuners in it should run Tempest. You swarm the field, you can attack your opponent, and then you could drop Tempest for game. Black Rose Dragon. Now that this is unlimited, you have to watch out for 2 to 3 of these at a duel. It's a great level 7, which means it's easy to get. It can destroy every card in the field, or it has a secondary effect that's less commonly used. Scrap Archfiend. Level 7 again. Now, it's pretty recent to have 2700 attack, the strongest level 7 there is out right now. But if you have room in your extra deck, why not use this card? Arcanite Magician, another level 7. If you run a spellcaster non-tuner, you could use this in your extra deck. This card is good because it summons against 2 counters, and you could potentially destroy 2 cards on the field at one time. Why not? X-Saber Urbellum, another level 7, pretty weak stats at 2200, 1300 for level 7. The effect's okay, you can cause your opponent a dead draw. I don't suggest running this unless you have room for it, but if you do, then go ahead. Blackwing Armor Master, a great level 7 actually. Basically he doesn't die by battle. If you run a Blackwing tuner in the deck, you should be running him in your extra deck if you have room. Even if not, you could potentially side this against Blackwings because they run so many tuners. If you can get your hands on one of them, then go for it. Chimera Tech Fortress Dragon. Not a synchro. It's unusual to see a non-synchro in the extra deck nowadays, but why not? With 3 Cyber Dragons running around, oftentimes you do see more than one machine on the field at a time, and because of that, Chimera Tech can mess your opponent up big time. Infernity Doom Dragon. I do not like this card at all, but if you have a Dark Tuner and you have room, stick him in there. If it comes to a game of top decking, he does do decent amounts of damage, considering he's 3000, but not good in most decks. Colossal Fighter, generic level 8, great card. Just dies by a battle, you can special summon one warrior, including himself. Gains 100 for every warrior, so why not? Red Dragon Archfiend. He used to be great, now he's iffy because there are better level 8s out there, but I still use him personally because Quick Draw will swarm the field with tokens and he will clear them all in one attack. Stardust Dragon. People are running around with 2 to 3 of these nowadays because they are great level 8 generic synchros. 2500, 2000, not bad stats either. Amazing effect to protect basically all your cards on the field at once. Thought Ruler Archfiend, a kind of watered down version of Stardust. If Psychic Monster would be targeted, including himself, you could pay 1000 to negate it. He is good for the fact that you can kill your opponent's monster and gain that much attack. Moving on, we have Mistworm. Mistworm's level 9, harder to get, but he has a decent effect, so it's worth it if you can get him out. He returns 3 cards on the field to the opponent's hand, basically allowing you to overextend for game if you really had the desire to. Last but not least, we have X-Saber Golems. If you run Earth Monsters and Tuners, you should potentially have him in your extra deck because you can use multiple Tuners if you were in a tight situation. 3100, 2600, level 9. Not a terrible card to have because in the worst case he can tribute himself to make your opponent discard 1 card. Well, that's all for now. If you have any questions, feel free to message me and subscribe and watch more videos.